this is Victor Lund from the Wave Group. I'm hooking up with my friend G here today. If you don't know the fantastic stuff that they are doing at Ylopo, like you're going to get a quick tutorial right now. They are the most fantastic company in generating leads and converting leads in the real estate industry. They're used by every top lead gen team in America, every top producer in America. And, you know, if you don't know what these guys are doing, you're going to learn real quick. So G, welcome. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great. How are you, Victor?
Excellent. Why don't we just jump right in and talk about Maverick and then talk about the new product that you guys just came out with, which I think is just mind-blowing in terms of what's happening in real estate today about commissions, your sales coach product. So if you can just give us a quick top level run through, and then, you know, we'll put your name up here, and then, you know, anybody who wants to follow up with you can certainly give you a call. And by the way, if you guys don't know, G is one of the coolest dudes in the real estate industry. He works with Howard Tager, and they have been around the block a lot. They've worked with, again, the top companies in the real estate industry to create some really cool products. So let's jump in.
Awesome. Yeah. So Victor, you know, we at Ylopo, which has been around for almost a decade now, we help some of the biggest teams in the country with their lead generation, lead conversion, lead nurture, et cetera. And the consistent problem we run into is good lead or bad follow-up, right? Everyone says, oh, you know, it's a leads problem. Your leads suck, or my leads suck. And we say, well, when we dig into your systems, you have a lead follow-up problem, right? And
yeah, well, you know, my thought is if you have a customer, whether it's a past customer or a lead, you follow up with them until they buy or die.
100%.
Simple.
And you know, people say that, right? They're like, oh, my team's so on top of it. Well, we went into our client CRMs across 3,000 clients and said, for new leads coming in the system, on average, how many times are they called in the first 30 days, right? You would think that number is, I don't know, 3, 5, 1.2. 1.2 times. That's it.
At least they're calling.
At least they're calling, right?
That's the cohort of customers you have. At least they're actually responding.
They're at least making a dial, right?
Yeah, our research shows that half the time it doesn't even get answered.
Exactly. And so, you know, where the insight behind Maverick came from is every team needs a sales manager. And if you have a sales manager, they need to be accelerated. And if you don't have a sales manager, then the team leader is the sales manager, right? And how do we make that job as easy as possible? And we do that in 3 ways, which is give you the analytics to know what's going on, give you a sales trainer to train up your team, and then make your agents' workflows really easy, right? And I'm going to start with the sales coach piece because I think this is so timely in the market.
This is your new product, right?
This is our new product, Maverick.
So has this been, like, when did you guys launch this? Did you launch it at your annual event, or has this been something that you've been working with your top customers on? Tell me the background.
Yeah. Let me give you the background. So this is 2 years in the making, this product. We built it in the lab with 5 of the biggest teams in the country. And we basically went in and we said, well, why are you so successful? Like, what is the operations flow that makes you so successful? And the first thing we did was we said, hey, why don't we create a guidebook for all of our teams to say, here's how you can be successful. And we gave it to all of our clients and we checked.
We call it a playbook.
Playbook, right? And we said, hey, so how's it going implementing that 14-page playbook? And they're like, oh, what are you talking about? Right? And so we said, we have to solve this with software, right? And that's what we did. So we basically downloaded the brains of all of the top operators in the business. And we said, how do we replicate their systems easy peasy in our clients, you know, normal workflow with software, right? That's the insight behind it.
And I do want to point out, like, I always, when I talk to you about you guys, I always talk about Ylopo, but you guys built a specific brand site for Mavericks and for sales coach. So I want to make sure everybody sees in the bottom left-hand corner, or now it's in the upper right-hand corner, that it's Maverick, MaverickRE.com. Like, go check it out. We're going to do an overview here, I think, G, but like, we want people to go there and get deeper into what this is. So
100%. Yeah. Thank you. I should have mentioned that earlier. It's MaverickRE.com, right? So the 100% correlation we saw in our teams is if your agents are good at sales, they will close. Pretty obvious, right? The problem is, how do you know who your good salespeople are, right? And so with the Maverick platform, what we've done is we actually download all of the phone calls that an agent makes in their CRM, and we assess it, right? So this is a typical conversation we download from the CRM.
Hey, this is Andy with the Gary Ashton Remax team. How are you doing? I'm doing well. How are you? Doing good, thank you. Got your note here that you were looking to set up a tour at 118 Juana Avenue in Gallatin. Yep, great. And you would do that the 25th at 11 a.m., is that correct? That would be fantastic if it's available. Perfect, we could definitely do that. What do you like about this property? So, we're first-time home buyers, fiance and I, new to Tennessee within the last 6 months or so, currently renting, but looking for our first home. This is kind of right up our alley. She's graduating from.
So we're going to take that call, right?
Empire.
And we're going to say, hey, let's use AI to break that conversation down into all of its components, right? What was the client's motivation? What's their time frame? What's their location of interest, etc. That's nice. We drop in the CRM. You don't have to record that anymore, right? Then we look at the sales skills. We say, what was the sentiment of the call? What were the objections that were raised? Did they ask for the appointment? What was LP Mama like, right? And we derive a score for every one of those calls, right? We give the agent a coaching note to say, hey, this last call, you could have done this better. Here are the things that you missed, right? But really where it's powerful is for the team leader, for the owner of the team or the business, they get a dashboard that says, what is my overall call quality for my team, right? Are they asking for appointments? Are they doing LP Mama? What were the biggest objections that were raised? And they can stack rank all of their agents based on their sales quality, right? So now for the first time, you definitively know who are my best agents at sales skills, who are my worst at agents at sales. Surprise correlation between close rate almost 1-to-1, right? And so, first part is knowing who your best sales skill leaders are, right? The second problem is I have bottom performers, I have new agents coming on. Well, how do I coach them up, right? And the old process used to be, I do a one-on-one with you. I spiel a lot of stuff at you need to do. I'm going to give you more lead opportunities, and we're going to reassess how you did in 30 days, right? What we said was, well, that's very wasteful of time and effort and leads. What if we built an AI sales coach for you, right?
And this is the new product, right?
This is the new product. That's right.
When did this roll out?
This rolled out in May,
Okay.
and it's so sticky. Like so many, our agents just are going bonkers over this, right?
Yeah, to the degree, like I know, I talked to Howard earlier today, and he told me like the delta of what happens when you use this product, you go from here to here like instantly overnight, and it does it for you, right? You don't have to spend that hour with that sales associate teaching them stuff that they don't implement. It does it for you, right?
100%. Yeah. So imagine this scenario, right? You are a Zillow team, you've got agents that now through grading, are not doing ALM, right? Which is required for Zillow leads. You say to that person, you're a 2 score right now. I'm not giving you leads until you score an 8 with the sales coach, right? They go in their dashboard, they click on the Zillow number, they call that AI, and now the AI is going to be the consumer. They're the Zillow lead, and you're going to have a full-blown conversation as an agent with a Zillow lead, right? So
this is like it's like a practice, right?
Practice. It's a role play.
Practice, talking to a machine who's damn well like a consumer, right? They're pretty
100%.
close. Yeah, all right, let's do it. Let's check it out.
Hello, this is Jesse. Who is this?
Hey, Jesse, it's Daniel. I'm a local real estate agent, and the reason for my call is you connected with our team in the past, and I was just curious. Did you ever end up purchasing a home?
Oh, hey, Daniel. Yeah, I remember. No, I haven't purchased a home yet. I'm still in the market, actually. Been speaking with an agent recently and starting to look into options more seriously.
Oh, okay, that's great. Really, what's holding you back now?
Well, I'm just trying to be cautious, I want to make sure I find the right place. And honestly, the whole process can be a bit overwhelming. Plus, the agent I've been talking to recently mentioned signing an agreement, and I'm a bit hesitant about that.
That totally makes sense. I'm just curious. What about your home are you currently looking to change?
Yeah, I'm currently renting, and I'm looking to make the leap to owning. I think it's about time I invested in my own place, so I'm not throwing money away on rent anymore.
Okay. Have you had any experiences with real estate agents in the past? And if so, what did you like or dislike about those experiences?
I haven't worked closely with a real estate agent before, This is all pretty new to me. That's why I'm a bit cautious about signing any agreements right now.
So this is a very typical conversation to have. If I played more of this, the consumer throws objections at you, you need to solve it, you need to ask for the appointment, so on and so forth, right? And you're just getting reps in. How many calls of a live consumer does an agent actually talk to? How many listing presentations do they really do? It might take you 6 months to get the same reps in a simulated fashion that you could get in 2 days, right? And that's the idea behind the sales coach. And after we have all these scenarios we built out for you to try, and at the end of that, I'm just going to fast forward. I apologize. We give you a coaching note, right? We say, here's your score. Here's where you need to improve. Here's where you messed up. And you notice we talk a lot about buyer agency there, right? We talk a lot about commissions there in the conversation. Right now, so timely to practice these dialogues, to know exactly what you should say, shouldn't say, and then how do you frame it to get past the objections?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, real estate agents have zero experience with the conversations they're about to have on signing the buyer agreement.
100%, right?
Well,
So,
I mean, that's not all, there are a lot
but
of states where you have to sign a buyer agreement. It's been part of the program in those states for many years. But for the bulk of people, it's a new conversation, and the media kind of skews the understanding of it with consumers. So yeah, there couldn't be anything more timely than a team or a brokerage or even an MLS or a brand saying, hey, I want all of our agents to go through this training right now and just run through it. I mean, even if I do it like 10 times or 15 times, what's going to happen to me as an agent? Do you guys have any data on that or any?
yeah.
points?
So one of the most interesting data points is from the first call to the 5th call. We're just talking about 5 role-playing calls, right? The percentage of agents that asked and got an appointment went from 45% to 80% on
What?
5 phone calls, right?
That's crazy.
And you just think about how many deals. So, in Maverick, it's so funny. Like Ylopo, when we look at internet lead conversion, right? What we historically see, because we have transaction management data on these clients, is it's a 13-month conversion cycle from lead to close, right? So
We saw the same thing with Weichert. That Weichert, which for years they were probably their center of excellence was really lead gen,
Yep.
through Weichert.com, and that they just were highly focused on it. And yeah, same thing. Looked at their data. It was 360 something days.
Yeah.
It's more than a year.
And that's a commitment, right? Like you have to decide as a business, you're going to go into this, right? Well, this tool with Maverick, you're going to see ROI from week 1, right? Because your agents are just going to be better at sales, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing I'll show you is, you've got the phone consult, which is important to practice, right? With our technology, we've gone down to listing presentation and buyer presentation live testing, right? So this is a role play you're going to have over video. The person on the bottom, believe it or not, is a clone.
Please go ahead and give your pitch on how you plan to sell my home at a premium.
Hey Barry, here's the goal for today. I want to walk you through everything it's going to take to sell your home at a premium. How does that sound?
Sounds good. I'm ready to hear your approach. But before you start, can you tell me what your commission rate will be for this sale?
My standard rate is 2.75%.
2.75% is a bit higher than I was expecting. I've worked with other agents who have offered more competitive rates. Can you tell me what makes your 2.75% rate worth?
Right. So, again, our whole goal is, and you can get Sales Coach by itself, right? Doesn't require CRM integration, doesn't require anything else. And, our whole theory.
Do you buy it by the seat?
You buy by phone calls, right? So it's how many calls you think your org is going to need. Obviously, we have some minimums and such like that. But you have 100 agents, you're going to need a certain number of calls. You have 5, you're going to need a certain number of calls. And you're just signing up to basically use this from a usage perspective to train your team.
Give me budget numbers, because people that are going to watch this, they need some idea. Is it like $5 or $50 or $500?
$175, right, will get you 50 sales calls. That's
right in the belly of the large, if you take the average of, believe it or not, 85,000 brokerages in America and you divide by the number of agents, that's a good number. So
exactly.
And you can use those, it's not per month, it's just you use those, right?
It is monthly. It is a monthly
okay.
commitment, right? But look, you can use it, and there's a lot of other bells and whistles. You can keep it, you can do whatever you want with it, right?
Okay.
But we built that for a team of 5, essentially, and then
Right.
going up, obviously, there's more incremental costs with the amount of usage you
All right.
get. Right?
Well, hey,
But
that's what I needed. I just needed, like, if people want to get in the game, they want to run some people through it, they want to see what kind of impact it has on their business. Now they know what they're looking at.
just try it out.
Thanks, man.
100%, right? So, so anyway, so that's the Maverick.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah, no. I love it. Yeah. So that's the sales coach component, right? We go a lot deeper into that. We have a whole learning portal for all of our agents to use. We help, for the team. So now that's the brokerage, single agent
Right.
team, everyone's
Yep.
better, right? For our lead teams, what we find is that they have 2 problems. The first problem is new lead comes in, who should get that lead, right? The second is agent now has 1,000 leads. What do they do with those leads, right? For new leads, what we're doing is instead of just getting a lead and shotgunning out to all your agents, right? Where what we see statistically,
Jump ball, we call it, right?
jump ball, right? That the weakest agents have the time to take a jump ball because they're not working, right?
Yeah.
And so you end up having your weakest agents working your best leads, right? And what we do is we are programming in here every agent. This agent can only take 15 leads in these price points, in these areas, whatever. New lead comes in, we stack rank all of your agents that are eligible. Who has the best conversion rate on these leads, right? And then we say we offer it to 1, then the second, then the third, until the person most qualified, who is capable in that minute to receive that lead, actually takes up, right? So for one of our portal teams, as example, that's using this right now, their conversion rate on portal leads went from 7% to 11% just because they were getting the right lead to the right agent, right?
And just, just some benchmarking, lead conversion generally across the industry is under 1%. So I think that's we're talking about most companies who are operating at 1% going to 11% with this technology. And that's the dollar amount, is immeasurable.
Yeah. I mean, in that situation, it's like 7% is their normal and then went to 11, right? But imagine your
They were
conversion
good.
rate
I mean,
1
they're a good
to
team.
1.7, right?
Yeah.
They're one of the biggest teams in the country, right? But imagine your conversion rate, to your point, went from 1 to 2. How measurable is that impact, right?
Sure.
The second is on the database side. So what we typically see happen is agents love new leads. They get a ton of new leads. They go a year and now they have 1,000 leads in their database. Are they following up with them? Chances are not, right? What we did was we said, let's collaborate with the top teams and said, what are the rules by which you want your agents to work their database, right? So as an example rule, a showing request comes in, someone has to call that person within 48 hours. No doubt, right? Believe it or not, if you look at a client person's database, there's going to be 7, 10, 15 leads at any given time where that's not happening, right? So we give you a dashboard that says, here's a rule. Here's how many times it's been broken. You click a nudge button right here, and we send an email, text, and a CRM note to that agent to say, hey, you got to jump on this lead because it's a showing request lead, and you got to get contact them in the next day, right? And the agent knows exactly what they need to do. And if they don't do it, you come back, click reassign, boom, that lead goes to someone else, right? And so for the first time, you have a
Can you set that? Can you set it and forget it, or do I have to come into the dashboard and do it?
So the set it and forget it can be dangerous, because you end up flooding your agents with a ton of leads. So we are slowly testing which rules that make sense for. But this is literally a 5-minute process for you to scan and figure out who you want to know.
No, it's
right?
just, you guys are so good at automation. I'm, not surprised that you're not automating this too, because, wherever there's a human in the mix that has to do something, as small as the effort might be, time is the most precious asset.
Yeah. Oh, we've got that feature coming. We've piloted it and it was dangerous. But totally.
But I know that a lot of lead management programs have what they call a time to live. So,
Exactly. Yeah. So tons of other features here. And then last thing I'll show you is analytics. People need to know what's going on in their business, right? So we tap into your follow boss account CRM side and with your transaction management, like a broker mint, right? We tie those two together and we tell you, what are your best lead sources? Are your agents following up? What's the best time of day to call, right? This is a really interesting trend graph. we saw for our average client that they staffed their call hours all during the day, right? And the most highly staffed hour is 12 p.m. During the week, lunchtime, right? Well, this yellow curve here is when they're making calls, and this blue curve is when they pick up. And the lowest time that people will pick up their phones is 12 to 1. That's when they're most staffed, right? And so we're giving you the data say, wait, you know what? You actually should just probably staff for the evening time because that's when people pick up their phone, right? So we're
I have
giving
a great story about that.
right?
There's DJ Grubb's partner at the Grubb Company. When they started that business, John Carney was a real estate agent and partner now. And what John Carney would do is he would always go into the office every night at like 5 or 6. He'd like grab a bite to eat and then go into the office and take the phone system off the messaging machine and just sit there answering calls all night long. And guess what happened to his business? It went exactly like that blue line that you're showing here.
100%. Yeah. It's hard to do, right? I mean, people want to
Yeah,
work during the
hey.
day, but that's
Yeah.
not when consumers want to talk, right?
Yeah, sleep in, work late.
That's right. So we give you all this analytics. We give you the business analytics. We tell you how much volume you're doing month over month, quarter over quarter, all the things that keeps you disciplined, right? And then we tell you, hey, you're buying a lot of leads. What's your ROI on those, right? What's your predicted ROI? Are you should be spending money on one source versus another, right?
What's your what's just generally speaking, give me your top converting leads by lead source.
Yeah. Well, portals is number one for sure.
Which ones? Like, does realtor.com leads convert higher than Zillow? Or
pretty similar, honestly.
oh, really?
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
similar. It really is relative to cost, right? And that's part of what we put in here. You put in your bill and then we assess that. I don't really think people should think about it from a conversion perspective. It's like a Zillow lead costs you like $500. It better convert at 5%, right? A PPC lead costs you 13. It's okay if it converts at 0.8, right? And so it really is relative to cost. And this is what we help you figure out. What is the actual ROI, return on investment on dollars you're spending, right?
Now, do you give your clients sort of benchmarking data too? Just not only showing them what they're doing, but like, here's how you compare against a cohort. Because listen, real estate trades are down like 20%, right? Total transaction volume. That means that the available dollars that everybody has to spend in the industry is down by 20%. So if I need to make the best decision possible for every dollar I spend in growing my business. So this helps with that, right?
Yeah, 100%. So all of our metrics are benchmarked against the top 10% of other Maverick teams, which are the best teams in the country, right? So we're going to tell you, hey, based on your response rates, this is, your response rates are within, the top 5% of top Maverick teams. You're 80% lower than the top Maverick teams, right? So we're constantly benchmarking you against what other people are doing.
So for brokers who have ISA groups, like they definitely need this tool, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we have a whole ISA section to the dashboard so you can track your ISAs.
Mhm.
And the whole point of this is to keep everyone accountable, right? You can see every salesperson, their entire funnel, green is good, red is bad. I know who I need to talk to. One click scorecard into each agent. Where are they falling off from the process, right? Your agents receive an email every week. They can log in, but they receive an email that says, you're ranked 43rd out of 45.
This is so important. Yeah. And it goes back to this login. Like if agents have to log in to see something, they'll never, and same with brokers. If you don't do push reporting, you don't have a reporting system.
100%.
We know that across every technology company. Hey, this has been awesome. I want you to do one thing before you go. I know that you created like a digital lead conversion assistant. I've seen it all over, this AI bot that you guys have running on people's sites. You gotta like give it to us again. Like show me what you got that's super cool. Cause I know that this is like the best in the industry that I've ever seen. It's the best AI that I've ever seen. And you guys are just crushing it. So just give me a quick overview of that.
I'll give you the 2 seconds, right? So bottom line is we have assessed the lead journey, right? And we know it takes 13 months to convert, and it takes way more calls and texts than people think to get a consumer on the hook, right? And so in the first 7 to 10 days, we will text and call a lead 7 times each, right? First 90 days, 35 texts and call attempts.
And by we, you mean your machine?
That's what I'm gonna show you, right? So if you were a human being and you want to get the most conversions, you would be making these calls and text yourself, right? No one does it. And so we do it with a machine. We do it with AI, right? So on the text side, we're your digital assistant. We're gonna text the lead. Here's an example of a text conversation.
Hey, Jennifer, this is Raya, Barry Jenkins' team assistant with Better Homes and Gardens NAGR. We'd like to send you a few more listings you missed from your Google search. Is the email we have for you at gmail.com still a good place to send them? Also, if you're not interested in being texted, just say stop. Jennifer, how's the house search been lately? This is Raya, Barry Jenkins' team assistant with Better Homes and Gardens NAGR.
Raya, thanks for checking in. I'm actually in the process of getting a divorce and need to sell my house ASAP and find a new one. Also, just so you know, I have a disability.
I'm so sorry to hear that you're going through a difficult time with your divorce and the added stress of needing to sell your house and finding a new one quickly. It must be a lot to manage. What are you looking for in a new home? Any specific requirements due to your disability?
Yeah, I need it to be a one-story and preferably close to my parents in Oceanside.
Sure, I'm here to help. Let's find you a great one-story home near your parents in Oceanside. Have you received?
So, I mean, if your ISA had that conversation with a consumer, you'd be like, you're getting a race, right? And imagine all this done for a fraction of the cost with AI, right?
Yeah.
So
And the most important word you just said there is done. The machine does it every time, right?
that's right. So consistent, right? So texting is great. You know, we've had that for 5 years. But what we found is you can text leads and tee them up for the agent. The agent still doesn't necessarily call all the time, right? And so what we did, believe it or not, is we created an AI version of a voice bot that calls all of your leads, right? So the male voice here is AI.
Hello?
Hi, Alicia.
Uh-huh.
Hi. I'm a digital assistant with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate on a recorded line. I'm following up with you regarding the home search profile that you submitted. What is it that brought you to our website?
I'm actually planning on moving down to the coast. I'm not sure if I'm going to move to North Carolina coast or South Carolina coast.
Oh, okay.
But I was just looking to see what might be available when I decide to do this.
Awesome. What time frame did you have in mind?
I'm not really sure. I'm trying to sell my house in Charlotte right now.
I see.
And once I sell it, I'll be moving
Okay.
3 or 4 months. I mean, that's not on the market yet. By word of mouth, I've got a few people that I know that's interested in it. So I'm just holding out to see what they do. And if they don't give me an answer soon, I'm going to put it on the market.
Oh, good. It seems that you have some decisions to make. We'd love to connect you with our realtor who can then strategize a game plan around possibly selling your home.
Okay.
Please hold on a minute just while I connect you, okay? And we live transfer the phone call to your phone, right?
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, and I will testify that everybody that's using these tools is just blown away by how successful they have been to grow their business. New technology and cutting edge technology is not the cheapest thing in the world, but it's a phenomenal investment when you really lay into it, especially if you're investing in a lot of lead generation, or if you have a lot of listings and you're getting a lot of sign calls. Like those sign calls that don't go answered are just horrible for your business. So anyway, dude, it's always great to talk to you, and it's impressive what you and your company are doing. And I thank you for spending the time with me and sharing all this stuff. And I look forward to chatting with you some more as you guys bring out new cool stuff.
Same thing here. Thank you so much, Victor. I appreciate you. Talk soon.
Right on.